If you liked the video today, don't forget to like, comment below, and subscribe. Hello everyone, I am the Young Millennial Budget. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Today I will be filming my 2020 financial wrap-up, which is just an overview of the goals I made throughout the year and whether I was able to achieve them. So let's get started. But first, I have a few questions. It may be weird to do this at the beginning of the video, but I felt like this was the best place because this is where I have the best viewer retention, and I really respect the opinion of the finance community on YouTube. So, my first question is, what app or company do you guys use for your personal brokerage account? I currently use Robinhood, and I've been really dissatisfied with the interface and lack of features that it has. Also, in the last few months, they've been having a lot of negative press, which I feel is a sign to find a new company to personally invest in. If you guys could comment down below where you invest in and why, I would greatly appreciate it. My second question is, what app or company did you open your Roth IRA with? I don't have a Roth IRA at this time, and after doing some research, a lot of people recommend Fidelity or Vanguard. So I was just wondering what the YouTube finance community suggested and why. So please comment down below if you can. I would greatly appreciate that as well. And my last question is, do you guys have any credit card recommendations with no annual fees that's widely accepted and has a good cashback program, which is what I consider anything greater than 1%? I currently have 3 credit cards, 2 of which I do not use, and I'm looking for a better credit card to help increase my credit score and also get better rewards. Please comment down below if you have any recommendations. So let me now move on to the rest of the video. First, let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm in my mid-20s, living in the outskirts of a high cost of living city, and I currently have a student loan debt balance of $34,200, and I originally started with $48,000, and I started my first post-grad job in August after graduating this past May. However, this job is not working in my field, and I am currently seeking employment that is more relevant to the degree that I have. These are the financial goals I made for myself in January 2020. My first goal was to find a job to replace the income that I lost in January. For some background, at that time I was working anywhere from 10 to 20 hours a week with a company that I had worked with for the last 3.5 to 4 years, and it was a very high stress environment, but I can't lie, I did enjoy this work more often than not. In January, I received a full-time offer that made me feel like I was undervalued. And after speaking with some of my full-time colleagues, they agreed that I had been lowballed. Also, I had some classmates with no work history at all or any work history with the company that were offered similar salaries, and one that was offered a higher salary than me, which I found really insulting. So I reached out to my manager's manager to negotiate my starting salary, and the conversation was very condescending and a little nasty. The conversation made me realize I did not want my money and well being to be tied to a manager that could disrespect me and that also undervalued what I could bring to the company. This led to a discussion where I realized my worth, and I ended up losing my job that same day. Unfortunately, outside of student loans and a bit of parental contribution, I was living paycheck to paycheck, so I was missing income of about $1,200 to $1,500 a month after losing the job. And I was not able to find employment until August, despite applying daily. So I was not able to find a job to replace the income I lost in January and had to live off of my emergency fund until unemployment kicked in after graduation in May. So I didn't reach that goal. My second goal was to pay off half of my loans before the end of the year. I started off with a student loan balance of $48,000, so half would be $24,000. I currently have a balance of $34,200 with a sinking fund of $10,075, which would leave me with a balance of $24,125, so I did not reach this goal yet. My third goal was to return to investing in my brokerage account daily. I actually want to make a whole video about my investment history because in the past I've had some very fortunate investments that made me over $10,000 to $15,000 in a year, which is me pretty much tripling to quadrupling my investment portfolio at that time. However, in 2019, I had a few very poor investments that led to me losing my confidence in my investment ability, and since then, I've only traded very sporadically and mostly inconsistently. So, unfortunately, I did not return to investing daily this year, but that's something I hope to change in the future. So, I did not reach that goal either. So these are my mid-year 2020 reviews. I made these in May after I graduated when I realized I wasn't on the same financial or income trajectory I had expected when I made my first goals in January. My first goal was to find employment by the end of 2020, and I did. And in this job, I have a much better manager that sees my potential and that I feel values my work. Even though I'm not currently working with my degree, I was offered better benefits and better work life balance than my previous job offer. And though this job has a lower starting salary than my field, it was exactly the change in environment that I needed. So I'm happy that I was able to meet this goal. My second goal was to replenish my emergency fund to $4,000. From January to May, I had depleted my emergency fund that was originally sitting at a balance of about $7,000 to $8,000 down to a little bit less than $1,000. And thankfully, I was able to replenish my emergency fund up to $4,000 after starting my job. So I did reach this goal. My third and final goal was to save $10,000 for a student loan sinking fund that I would deposit at the end of the federal forbearance. And if you watch my last video, I was able to reach that goal, and now I have a sinking fund balance of $10,075, and I am so excited to deposit that after the forbearance is up. This year has really taught me the value in reevaluating your goals and striving to achieve them despite adversity and obstacles. Now let's discuss my net worth. I decided to take screenshots of what was on YNAB so I could add some descriptive text to the image. This is what my current net worth currently looks like on YNAB, and as you can see, it only includes some of my accounts. I exclude my primary checking account and my primary credit card account because that's money that I anticipate spending within a month or year's time, so I don't believe it adds to my net worth. I'm excited to see that I've grown my net worth by 29.8% since starting YNAB in October. I started with a net worth of negative $24,239.92, and now I have a net worth of $17,022.12. I can only imagine how cool my chart would have been if I started in January when I lost my job and documented how my net worth slowly decreased to now where it is exponentially increasing. These reports are very motivating and one of the many reasons that I switched from EveryDollar to YNAB in the first place. However, I don't think the current graph is reflective of my actual assets and debt allocation because of my pending student loan sinking fund, so I made a dummy transaction to reflect such. Here is my net worth with the dummy transactions, and it remains the same with a current net worth of negative $17,022. The only difference is that my assets are now at a balance of $7,102.88, and my debts are at a balance of $24,200. Seeing this encourages me to really prioritize my asset growth in the years to come, in addition to focusing on paying off my student loan debt. The next report I will be reviewing is my spending report. Here it says that I spent a total of $5,292.89 since starting YNAB in October 2020. This report shows that the majority of my money is spent on housing and living expenses in addition to food. Giving is pretty high up on the list too. However, this is definitely skewed because of the holiday season. But overall, I'm genuinely not surprised by any of these percentages. But again, I don't think this is truly reflective of my money allocation because of the large student loan sinking fund, in addition to the money that I allocate towards my emergency fund, which of course I'm not spending at this time. I understand that this is a spending report and not a money allocation report, but I still wanted a more clear view of where my money was going So I input two dummy transactions to reflect my student loan sinking fund and my emergency fund allocations. After looking at my October starting balances, I saw that I had put $325 in my emergency fund since starting YNAB and $8,025 towards my student loans since October. This shows that 59% of my income has gone towards my student loans and that my housing and living has been about 20% of my income, which makes more sense to me than the previous report where it said my housing and living was 52% of my income. I'm pretty satisfied with the percentage breakdown. I do think that the food allocation at 7% is a little bit higher than what I would like it to be, which is mostly due to my overspending in fast food, which is something I would really like to decrease in 2021. But I'm overall pretty satisfied with where my money went this year. And while making this presentation, I realized that there was a goal that I wasn't able to previously meet, that I may have the financial wiggle room to reach that goal today. This is the goal to pay off half of my loans before the end of the year. If you look over on the right, I originally started with a balance of $48,000, and paying off half would leave me with about $24,000. And my current balance is $34,200 with a $10,075 sinking fund, which would leave me with a balance of $24,125, which is so close to $24,000. All I need is $125 to meet my goal of paying off half of my student loans. So let me switch over to YNAB and actually go ahead and do that. So this is my current budget. First, I'm going to take some money out of my buffer. In one of my previous videos, I talked about how my dad sent me $150 to buy a necklace for Christmas, which I haven't done yet. So I'm going to make sure I leave $150 behind. So let me just take $15. Now let me look at my Wells Fargo reserves. Some of you may remember from my first ever YouTube video that I have a Wells Fargo savings account, which you can see here, that I just don't touch. It has automated save as you go transfers deposited into it each month, so I can avoid a monthly service fee. And these transfers are maybe $3 to $10 a month, and it has accumulated up to a balance of $831. So I think I'm going to take the additional $110 from here. So now I have $125 in my to be budgeted, and I'm just going to put that into my student loans, which means I was able to reach my goal of being able to pay half of my student loan balance in 2020. This is so amazing. I really wasn't expecting to be able to do this, especially after everything that happened at the beginning of the year. And I am so excited. Like, I don't know if it's coming across in my voice, but I really didn't know if this was going to be able to happen. And I honestly have YNAB to thank because it really let me see where all of my money was going and to see that I can actually afford to put my money towards my student loan. So I'm ecstatic. So, as you can see, I was able to pay off half of my loans before the end of the year. Granted, though, this is all sitting in a sinking fund and I actually haven't sent it towards the student loan servicer, but I will be able to pay off at least half by the time the federal forbearance is up. And I'm so happy, just so happy. So I believe this takes me, so back to the quick questions. Once again, if you guys have a moment and you made it to the end of the video, if you could please answer some of these questions for me. Where do you guys um, where do you guys have your personal brokerage accounts and Roth IRA with? And any credit card recommendations at this time? And also, did you guys reach your 2020 financial goals? I'm pretty proud of myself for reaching 4 out of 6 of them. So that's the end of my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment below, and subscribe. Let me not forget to mention where I got the slides from. I got this from a website called Sligo, and the credits are at the bottom in case you wanted to use a similar template in the future. Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Bye, guys. Happy holidays.